Welcome back to another episode of the Todd Durkin Impact Show. And I hope you are fired up today because right now I am still dripping sweat, buckets of sweat, because I just got a great workout in. Why? Because it's August and it's hot in California. Heck, it's hot everywhere right now. And this podcast episode today is going to be ultra hot because we got a great guest on for you today. Her name is Lizzie Merritt. You're going to be on fire in just a moment. We talk about passion, purpose, miracles in your life, what it's going to take. As you know, if you've been a listener for any length of time, you know I love talking about motivation, inspiration, divine purpose, and divine uniqueness. And I've been on this theme lately called coaching greatness. Have you been listening? Have you been following? Even on August 8th, I had a webinar called Coaching Greatness. And thank you for all of you who tuned into that. And many of you taken action already on that Coaching Greatness webinar. If you have not yet listened to it, make sure you go back and listen to it. I talked about the 7 traits of the greats, my top lessons and mistakes. God, I don't like talking about my mistakes, but every time I do, people are like, oh, thank you for sharing that, because things do go wrong, that's for sure. And of the one must thing you must do, if you're a trainer, you're a coach, or you're a life transformer, or you want to be a trainer, coach, life transformer, or you're a mom, dad, grandma, you're an athlete, you're an entrepreneur, you're a leader, then this webinar is for you. Go back and listen to it. Man, the other thing I shared on that is I had some pretty big news. Well, actually, really big news, and perhaps some of the biggest news of my entire career. If you've been listening to this podcast for a while, you know that I recently completed what's called my reinvention series, 301 through 306. If you have not yet listened to that, go back and listen to it. Even if you have, you might want to go back and listen to it. But just to jot your memories, prior to that series starting, I said there's a reason why I need to share the reinvention series, because some of y'all think that it, I read another book, create another program, and it just happens and everything works magically well. But God was whispering to me, you better share what you've been through in the last 3 years to get you to where you are today, because before you just share what you're about to do, they need to know the story of what you've been through. Hence, I shared my reinvention series and what I went through over the last 3 years. And interesting enough, how that was the impetus to sharing what I recently announced on that webinar. And if you've been following my social media, you've been seeing that, because on the other side of the pain, the hurt, the overwhelm, the burnout, is exactly what now is to be, that's launching next month. See, the last 9 months, my team and I have been working hard on something that is going to be, well, impactful, pardon the pun. It's going to be part of my legacy. It's something I've poured a ton of blood, sweat, and tears into, and I will continue to do that for the years to come. And if you missed it, I'm really excited. If this is your first time hearing about it, I've got my new signature program called the Todd Durkin Impact Life Coaching Certification Program. And I am jacked up, if you can't tell, because, well, I'll say for 9 months, we've been working arduously on it, but frankly, it's been 2 decades of this coming up so that we could proliferate impact to other trainers, coaches, and life transformers who want to maximize their impact as life coaches. And by growing a team and a stable of what I'll say are TD Impact certified life coaches, I can now pour into these coaches so that we can grow our current programs like Impact X, like our God-Sized Dreams coaching program, and the Todd Durkin Mastermind. All of these coaching programs over the last 17 plus years have been developed to create impact. Well, guess what, my friends? I need some help in growing the impact so that if we're going to hit 10 million or 50 million or 100 million people, I'm going to need an army of people. Hence, some of you may want to be part of the army. So now I can help you equip. If you're looking for life coaching or want to be a coach, now is the time for that. So if you're stuck if you're frustrated with your current role or title at work, or you love what you're doing, but you want to go even deeper with what you do, or maybe even pick up a side hustle of a few clients per week, or you want to make a complete career change. Some of you have, because I've been reading my DMs. Yes, I read my DMs. I read all the texts you send me. This Todd Durkin Impact Life Coaching Certification Program is going to be one that does change millions of lives, but I need some help. Did you hear me? I said millions of lives, and it's going to take that army of people, passion-filled, purpose-driven, meaningful messengers with heart and soul. Got to have heart, got to have soul to be on the team so that we can impact this world. The mission of this entire program, my friends, as you listen in today, is this. The mission of the TD Impact Life Coaching Certification Program is to be the premier, that means the best, the premier life coaching company that equips purpose-driven men and women to coach impact so that we can transform a world that so desperately needs hope, positivity, guidance, mentorship, wisdom, soul, coaching, and impact. To not only be lighthouses in this dark world that we live in, but to provide them the path. Not just to motivate and inspire, but to provide the path, to be the guide down the path, to share with your clients, your customers, your members, all the people whom you impact, so that why? So that we can serve more radiantly. So, my friends, today is the opportunity. If you would like to be part of that team and you want to be part of an equipped army of impact-driven life coaches, take action. If you're ready to sign up, go to todddurkin.com and just apply today. If you're unsure, apply. And guess what? Someone on my team is going to reach out to you, and we are going to set up a little discovery call. If you want more information, go to my website, todddurkin.com, see all the information on the Todd Durkin Impact Life Coaching Certification. Hop on that discovery call anytime between now, as you listen, and September the 10th to see if this program is for you. And if it's not, God bless you. You're going to be hearing a lot about it, because I am driven. I am on a crusade right now to impact 10+ million people, and I need some help from the Army. All of our fire-breathing dragons, if you're ready to take action, equip, get ready for this program. It's going to be 6 months long of pure fire. So get ready. Oh, you know what I'm excited about? Labor Day. Labor Day. It's coming up. Labor Day. Guess what else is coming up? Football is coming up. So we got Labor Day, we have football, and we have the kickoff of the new Impact Life Coaching Certification Program. My friends, that being said, I'm excited for today's session with Lizzie Merritt. You're gonna hear all about her in a moment. But if you're ready for today, and what you're gonna hear today is, I hope you're ready for today, because we bring in the heat, is who wants to hear why the world needs more of you? So with that being said, let's go to Lizzie Merritt right now down in Florida and say hello to Lizzie. Lizzie, what's happening?
TD, I am so happy to be here. We are bringing it today. Thank you so much for the gift and the opportunity to be here just to spread the light. Let's be lighthouses. Let's go.
Amen to that. And thank you all for listening to the news, the big news about the Impact Life Coaching Certification Program. If you are not going to take part in that, don't worry. This program is going to be laden with great motivation and inspiration for you. And I think it's going to give you some fire, not only for this week, but for this month, to finish this year strong for the next 6 months plus on that. And truth be told, Lizzie Merritt and I have been working closely together for a long time now. And we're going to share some of that and how and why. And she's an author. I'm holding her book. If you're watching on YouTube, her book right here, You Are a Miracle. You Are a Miracle. If you have not yet read this book, you're going to want to read it. I'll put it in the show notes. We'll talk a little bit about it today. But Lizzie, I hope you're excited for today to talk about why the world needs more of, fill in the blank, your name, and to get after it. You fired up, Lizzie?
Fired up, ready to go.
Well, hey, here to give Lizzie her proper due, take a listen to her short bio. Lizzie Merritt is an author, coach, podcast host, and she loves empowering others to step into their unique strengths. She started as a student in my God-Sized Dreams program and now serves as a life coach in Todd's God-Sized Dreams program and impact coaching programs. As a professional weight loss coach, she specializes in helping people figure out why they don't do the things they think they should do in order to lose weight and feel happy. But ultimately, Lizzie's best. She's the queen supreme when it comes to helping people discover their inner joy, peace, happiness, and fulfillment. That is Lizzie Merritt. So when you hear about Lizzie, Lizzie is one of the coaches, along with Kelly Watson. When I say we've been working for close to a year on this latest program, Lizzie and I have spent many of hours, days, weeks, and months, now years, working together, but first as a student and now as someone who's helped me create this program. So Lizzie, with that being said, welcome to the Impact Show.
Thank you, TD. It's just an honor. Thank you.
Well, I want to dive right into coaching.
Yeah.
What was your journey so that you knew that when you became a coach, like coaching's for me?
Yeah. So there's kind of two main fork in the road moments. The first one was around 2013. My husband was a career military. We had two young kids at the time. He was deployed, and I had gone to college, had a degree, but with staying home to raise our kids, and my husband's gone a lot, I felt like I was spending all of my time with a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old. And I was like, feels like there should be, there's something more here. And I love being a wife, love being a mom. But I remember it was 1 a.m. and I couldn't sleep. And I was like, God, what's the plan here? You know, you gave me these gifts, and I feel like there's a reason why. Like, I feel like there's something I'm supposed to be doing here, but could you give me a hint? Could you tell me what's the path? And as nice as it would have been if God was like, well, Lizzie, here's the path, that didn't actually happen. But it still was a very pivotal moment for me, because kind of looking in the rearview mirror, you can see the breadcrumbs that I began to listen to the whispers. And little by little, I began to find ways to step into my unique, what felt at the time as kind of my weirdness, what was kind of a little bit, quirky about myself. But I realized over time that our weirdness, our quirks are our strengths. And so that led me down a path towards being able to accept myself and lean into who I am. Fast forward, just before the pandemic, February 2020, I was in a professional role that was not a great fit, and I lost my job. And I was like, oh sugar, what do I do now? And God's timing, around the same time I had come across the Todd Durkin Impact podcast, and I was like, I think I need to hire a coach. I think this is it. And so the amazing Kelly Watson was my coach through the Impact Coaching Certification, along with you, Todd. And through my sessions with Kelly, I looked deep within me and said, what are the things that light me up? What are my gifts that God has given me that I can use in service of others into the world? And what does that look like professionally? And the answer just came back, just loud as a bell: coach. And I remember telling Kelly, I was like, Kelly, I've always kind of thought life coaching was sort of a pretend job, but I think I would love it. And I think I might be good at it. So I'm going to go for it. And she was like, yeah, you should do that. And so that's, long story short, how I got here.
No, that's good. It's interesting how people come into your life at the right time.
Yeah.
When you think back, you just lost your job. You're a little lost. You're trying to figure things out of what's my purpose, or, hey, there's an opportunity here, but you're kind of feeling a little down. And then somehow when you listen to the podcast, you come across Kelly. And as we have mentioned, Kelly Watson is one of the finest coaches on the planet. And to have you guys connect, I remember talking to Kelly about you, Lizzie, and just the relationship that you guys were able to form on at that time, a coach and client level led to a deeper relationship. And I just love hearing the stories of how people either found a coach that really jived and resonated with, and then how you eventually discovered the next steps. So describe that. What did you get out of working with Kelly?
Yeah.
And the results with that?
So what I got out of working with Kelly, which is also what I find so beautiful about the coaching profession, is that she asked me the questions to help me find my own truth. Coaching is not about telling anybody what to do. It's about the client has wisdom within us. And so she helped me to, she kind of pointed me on the right path to do the inner discovery of what is it that I can do to bring my strengths into the world. And through that, I enrolled in a life coaching certification program. And one of the things that was so great about going through the life coaching certification was, you have to do practice coaching. And so you practice being the coach, but you also have to practice being the client.
Yes.
And this is not role play. You bring your own mess to these practice sessions. And, a lot of us, coaches that, I imagine a lot of folks that are listening, we're helpers. We love to help. It feels good, but it's sort of hard to receive. And it's a vulnerable position. And so when you are forced to be the client, I have to bring my mess and get coached on it. Todd, that was the greatest gift to me from the life coaching certification, was forcing me to be the client and realizing, oh my goodness, this stuff works. It is so valuable, so important. I will always have a coach for the rest of forever, because just everybody needs a coach.
Would you say, in a weird way, that was almost an aha moment, having that practical aspect of being the client from your coaching experience? Obviously, and I've heard you talk about that before, both in your book and on your podcast, going through life coaching training and being the client. Was that your aha moment?
It absolutely was, because it gave me so much confidence in the work that I wanted to do. If I ever had any doubts of like, does coaching matter? Is it a real job? Is it, does it actually have an impact? It eliminated, obliterated any doubts about that coaching works.
What's funny is, I think about this all the time. Everyone likes to help people, but it's really scary to be the client. Right?
It is.
It's easy to say, hey, do this or that, but it's when you're on the other side, y'all are probably laughing, but when sometimes you're receiving that, it's a little uncomfortable when you're hearing some of that feedback, and whether you call it scary, whether you call it uncomfortable. We love to help, and it's easy to project out wisdom or experience. And part of the art of coaching, I shared this on the webinar recently, part of the art of coaching and the traits of coaching is being able to ask the right questions. And how do you detect that? Even with the 5 whys, which we talked about on the webinar. I'm not going to go through it all, but the actual process of getting to the point of how you most help people and asking the right questions, so that when the client comes up with the answer, now you own it. And when you can own it, then you have the ownership of the answer, and then the coach can continue to guide you, hold you accountable. That's all obviously part of coaching. And the other thing that, when you talk about, being on the other side of the foot, is if any of you are a coach or a trainer, whether it be a fitness coach in the fitness industry, or you're a life coach now, or you're a coach for a sports team. We have a lot of coaches from sports teams, from youth on up to professional, listening to this podcast. Is everyone needs a coach. Everyone needs a coach. That coaching is powerful. That's the last 25 years of my life. I've been coached my whole life, still have coaches, but now in growing and leading my coaching programs, at first it was just at Fitness Quest 10, and now obviously through the Mastermind for 17 years, and God-Sized Dreams, and Impact X, and now this Impact Life Coaching certification. Everyone needs a coach in different areas. Maybe it's business, maybe it's faith, maybe it's everything. That's, impact, but everyone needs a coach. And Lizzie, you talk about aha moments. When you get on the other side, it's a different feeling when you're the client, and it's good to say, hey, here's what I like about when I'm coached, how that coach listened to me or had empathy or held me accountable, whatever that may be. When did you know that you love coaching, and what is it about coaching that you love?
I love that feeling of, so there's a phrase like, you can't see the label when you're inside the jar. And that's why everybody needs a coach. That's why I need a coach, because I can't see my own label. And so I love that feeling of asking a question of the client where that helps them see things from a different perspective. And whatever story they were telling themselves, by just looking at it from a different perspective, that alleviates some of the pain of that previous story. It says, oh, maybe there's a different way to look at it. Maybe what was so painful to me might not 100% be true. And that feeling of empowering somebody to step into their strength and to own, I'm not the victim here. I can have some sense of control over my own life, over my own situation. It's amazing. And I love, so before every coaching session, and you may do this too, Todd, I say a little prayer, and I have this sort of image of a lighthouse, that I am the glass and God is the light shining out. And it's like, if I can just let my ego sit to the side and I say, God, whatever you need to say to this client, let me be the clear, medium through which you can transport your message to this person. And it is amazing how many times I show up to a coaching session and I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to say. And God speaks right on through me. And it's just awesome. It's so cool.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that's why any coach, you go into a game with a plan, but you have to adapt that plan based on that. Same thing with life coaching, same with fitness coaching, is you always go into a session with a plan. And, even we have our plan of what we do with Impact, you have your plan, but through the listening and where your client is at, whether that be physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, relationally, financially, impactfully, all of the things that we address, is when you're a great listener and you can tap into that. It's really, really special when you start to see the transformation on all different levels. What else you love about coaching?
The people I get to meet, and just, I get off of a coaching call and I just feel like I'm living into my purpose that answers that question I had at 1 a.m, saying, God, what's the point here? Why am I here? What do you have for me to do? I feel like I know the answer now, and it feels so good.
For those of you who have been longtime listeners of the podcast, you heard in the reinvention series, 301 through 306, me talking about my light bulb moment in the middle of the night at 2:36 in the morning when I popped up with my divine uniqueness. Now, while some of you laughed and even messaged me like, duh, of course, mindset and coaching, that's what you do and you are. But it's interesting when you look from a coaching perspective, and as all you do your soul searching, and there's a lot more soul searching these days than ever before. Some of the things I love about coaching, and I say coaching on the macro term, I don't care if it's in the gym, if it's right here in my office, if it's life coaching, if it's at a live event and I'm coaching, is when you're able to empower others to step into their full potential and instill belief in somebody. Yes, I'll always say is you can't make someone believe in themselves more than they believe in themselves. But I believe one of the roles of a coach is to instill belief in someone and lift them up and breathe life into them. And I think empowering others to step into their full potential and see the things like you just talked about is when you're inside the jar, you can't always see it. Is a coach is going to see things from the outside and use their life wisdom and experience and knowledge to help them see what they're capable of, potential, and then instill a mindset in them to do what they're divinely designed to do, and then instill the motivation and inspiration to take action. Because when you take action, your client takes action and you hold them accountable, then the sky's the limit. So I really love that about coaching. And the other thing is as I've shared openly about this over the last few years on the show, and part of even why I started this podcast over 300 episodes ago was to motivate and inspire people as my own walk has gone deeper and deeper, and my programs have evolved deeper and deeper. What I've realized is our coaching programs have gotten deeper and deeper. Lizzie, you are part of the God Size Dreams coaching program, and many of you are part of either the Impact X or my mastermind program. It's only about going deeper. And my hope today is, regardless of what your role or title is as you do soul searching, just be the best version of yourself. And that's what coaches can help you do, is to go deep. And whatever aspect of life that is right now that's rearing its head, that needs attention. Maybe it's physically. You need to get your physical health or energy back. Maybe it's clarity of your purpose of what you're supposed to do in life. Maybe it's relationally, and it's hard to be a great husband or wife or spouse or father or mother if you're not on fire yourself and you're not taking care of yourself. So these are all the things, and I could talk about coaching all day. I invite you to go back to that webinar and listen to it. But Lizzie, I thank you, because in now having the opportunity to coach with you and seeing you coach a lot of our clients, it's amazing the transformations that happen from within. Pastor Jeremiah talks about, you train, talking about me, like you train from people from the inside out. Well, everyone whom I've touched that's how we all need to be training people from the inside out. Because we train from the inside out, now all of a sudden you can truly transform someone's life. Lizzie, you wrote a book called "You Are a Miracle." You are a miracle. Why did you title it that?
So it's called "You Are a Miracle: How to Lose Weight and Love Your Body Too." And my sort of coaching expertise is in weight loss. Mm-hmm. But really that is just it's very important, and I'm very passionate about weight loss. It is a pathway, in my opinion, to help someone see themselves as the miracle they already are. Mm. So when I was writing the book, it came from a kind of see your body as a miracle that it is. If you think about, like, I take breath and oxygen gets transferred into carbon dioxide and, magically goes through my body, and wow, my brain, all the kinds of things that happen within our body. Like, if you think about it, it's kind of awe-inspiring, the things that happen within our bodies without any input from us. And even if you look externally, like, I love that my arms get to hug my loved ones, or that my legs get me from here to the kitchen so I can have coffee in the morning. Like, there are so many things about our bodies that we can appreciate. And it breaks my heart that so many people out there honestly loathe their body. They hate their body because of how it looks, because of how society has said you're supposed to look. And I want to kind of like tap them on the shoulder and say, you don't have to hate your body. You don't have to feel uncomfortable in your body. Look at the miracle you already are. You get to live in this vehicle, in this life that brings you everything. If you see a beautiful sunset, that's because of your body. You get to hug a loved one, that's because of your body. You have children, that's because of your body. So there are so many things to feel grateful for about this miraculous organism that is our bodies. But as I was writing the book, the more I could, again, kind of get out of the way and let God speak through me, I began to realize that it's a little bit of a metaphor as well. Women in particular tend to wait until they lose weight, until they can go on a vacation, ask for the job. We hold ourselves back because of our bodies, because of, I'm not enough right now. I don't weigh the way I'm supposed to. And so the deeper message is, you as a divine creation are a miracle. You were put on this earth for a reason. You are not a mistake. You are not an accident. You are very purposefully designed. And God is here to shine his light through the lens of you. And so every minute you spend, self-talk that's negative, of like, I hate the way I look today, or I don't feel good about myself, every minute that you're holding yourself back is a minute that you are denying the world of why you're here. And so the world needs more you. And everybody is here for a reason, and it is to be the most you can be. And so weight loss, it's about weight loss, but it's not about weight loss. It's about releasing those chains, that whatever is holding you back, so that you can be as bright and shine as you can be, because that's why we're here, for you to be you.
Wow, that's good. The world needs more of you. Did you hear what she said? So I was listening to your podcast a couple months ago, and I heard you say that. And I'll admit, I was walking around the neighborhood and I heard you say, the world needs more Lizzie Merritt, or fill in the blank. Like, I was like, the world needs more Todd Durkin. And I'm walking around the neighborhood and I see someone walking by me. I had my earphones in. They must have thought I was nuts, because here I am walking by like, the world needs more Todd Durkin. The world needs more Todd Durkin. So, hey, if you're out there right now and you're walking or you're working out, can you please fill in? Don't say my name, say your name. The world needs more. Fill in your name and just keep repeating it on a mantra. Because I love that, Lizzie, because you were saying the world needs more Lizzie Merritt. And I was saying my name, because I believe the world needs more of each of us at our best. Right?
Yes.
And that was almost declarative and demonstrative as I was saying that. It was empowering and freeing to say, you know what? I'm not going to hide behind how excited I am for even what I'm doing now and what we're doing with the impact coaching program. Of like, the world needs us more than ever before. The world needs you more than ever before. So don't be shy. Don't be, timid that you're going to be judged because of what you do, or because how much you weigh, because how much weigh, the way you look. So, Lizzie, I love that. The world needs more of you, and you at your best. Fill in the blank, whatever your name is. And man, you may want to take a snapshot of wherever this is right now in the episode and just put, the world needs more of you, with 3 exclamation points, by the way, and those little steam things coming out the face. That's when you know it's vintage TD. The world needs more of you. And that's a great reminder, Lizzie. And I thank you for that, because people now in the neighborhood think I'm more crazy than ever. Not only am I clanging and banging in the home gym, I'm walking around saying the world needs more Todd. So thank you.
Yeah. And it's human nature that, like, when you're walking around the street and you're like, the world needs more Todd Durkin, you're like, that's maybe someone's looking at me, that's a little embarrassing. And so whomever, if you're listening, you're thinking, okay, that sounds great. The world needs more of me, but fill in the reason why not. Like, who would ever want to listen to me? Or I don't have time, or I'm too old, too young, too whatever. Our brains are beautifully designed to protect us. And so all of those thoughts that have just come in of like, yeah, the world needs more of me, but whoa, that would be scary. Of course, your brain throws up those thoughts. It's just trying to protect you. It is your brain doing what your brain does.
Yeah.
But I beg you, don't let that survival brain voice be the only voice in the room. Also, look ahead 20 years, 30 years. Imagine your future, wiser self who is looking back at you with just so much love and radiance, and they have so much joy. They've seen the road. They know the hiccups. They know the fears that you're experiencing right now. And they also know that your life is so much more fulfilling and purposeful because you overcame that fear, that voice that's saying, well, why, not me because of whatever. Future you is saying, yes, you, because you're you. And so whenever those fear voices come up, because they will, that's your brain, it's normal, allow yourself to look to the future and listen to your wiser future self, who knows that you have a gift worth giving and you're here for it, and don't wait.
So good. So good. When you talk about the world needs more of you and you fill in your name, ... at your best, at your best. And I would implore you, like, what does it take for you to be at your best when it comes to your health, your energy, your vitality, your faith walk, whatever that means to you? Because when you are showing up as your best as a parent and as a spouse and as a leader, and if you are a coach, then guess what? The world's getting a whole lot of good on that. So Lizzie, thank you. I do have a question, because you often, even in your bio, are termed a weight loss coach. But knowing you and coaching with you, you're, I don't want to say way more than a weight loss coach, because you're a life coach and you coach on a lot of different areas of life. But how do you feel that, I'll say, quote, weight loss coaching helps people step into their full potential? Or again, I'll say weight loss because you call yourself a weight loss. I call you a life coach. But how does that, with what you've been doing in your past coaching career, allow people to step into their full potential through, quote, weight loss?
Yeah. As I mentioned, I primarily help or work with women, and for whatever reason, women a lot of times hold themselves back. We're trying to please others. We're trying to fit into a mold that is societally expected of us. Yep. And it's the problem that they are aware of is, I want to lose weight. And so I say, come on in, let's talk about weight loss. But really, like, yes, we can help you lose weight, but really this isn't about the weight. This is about you letting go of the emotional and mental weight that is holding you back from being who you are meant to be in this world, and allowing you to shine today. You don't have to wait until the number says, until the scale says some magical number. Every moment is an opportunity for you to be stepping into your shine, your glory, your divine uniqueness. And basically, I help people love themselves while they lose weight, instead of waiting until when they lose weight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so good. So good. Lizzie, you enrolled first coaching with Kelly, and then you're involved in our God-Sized Dreams coaching program. Can you just talk for a moment about your ascent, your journey from that until where we are today? Like what allowed you to keep stepping up, per se, in your journey in coaching?
Sure. So I was coaching with Kelly, and I knew, well, first of all, Kelly Watson is an amazing human. And so, like, any person who is in her in her atmosphere is drawn towards her. And through our coaching, I realized I wanted to be a coach myself. And I also was like, and I want to work with Kelly and Todd, because they got something going on there, and they're the genuine kind of people that I want to work with. It's that heart-centered, purposeful mission. Fast forward, I helped out with right after your first live event after the pandemic. I came and supported the live event, and just kind of stayed in touch. And as God-Sized Dream came about, I gave some feedback on the early rendition of it. And then when we had our first official launch, I was honored and pleased to be able to be a coach in that program. And I got to tell you, Todd, I've had the pleasure of being a part of a number of professional things that are pretty great. And I remember the first in-person event almost exactly a year ago, July 22. That was absolutely like the best professional experience I've had in my life, because of the people that were there, because of the transformation of just God was at work in that room. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. And so then we run God-Sized Dream again, and it was also again great. But that first time was just like, maybe those were special people. That was a special group, kind of one-time thing, lightning in a bottle. Run through God-Sized Dreams a second time, and we're in Whitefish this past February. Same thing. Get in the room, and I'm like, these people are amazing. This is not an accident. This is really, really special. And you probably remember this, like the night after we closed, and I was like fired up. I was like, Todd, we cannot wait on this life coaching certification program, because these God-Sized Dreams people are so incredible and so amazing, and they have so much to give in the world. We have got to give them a vehicle through which they can have a structure to go and share their amazingness in the life coaching world. And You received that very, very gracefully, but I was a little fired up that night.
And here we are, right?
Here we are.
I remember Melanie was there and Kelly. So I don't know if you heard that, but Kelly Watson and Lizzie Merritt were really challenging me to step up to deliver this, because the God-Sized Dreams program at that point was in helping people really get more clarity on their purpose. But then now we have to equip people to deliver these ongoing programs. Talk about that, Lizzie. Over the last, let's say, 9 months, we've been working arduously, Kelly, yourself, me, Julie, and making sure that we have a program that's 6 months long in this new Todd Durkin Impact Life Coaching certification. Talk a little bit about that process. Like, why are you most excited for it, and what fires you up for our September 10th launch?
Yeah. So, what is exciting to me about the Impact Coaching certification is, again, that kind of God-sized dreams moment when I realized, Todd, there's something special about you, and there's something very, very special about your audience and the people that you attract. You know, people like Scott Andrews, Susan Hannafin McNabb, Josh and Sarah Noderft, and Vicky Cable and Jen Simpson, people that have been in our God-Sized Dream programs. And I'm like, you guys are amazing. We need to allow or give you a way to bring more of you into the world. And couple that with the way that the world has been evolving over the last few years, I believe that coaching is such a growing industry. It is so needed. And there is so much opportunity for amazing people to step into their strengths and share their unique experience in a way that helps others. You know, and I actually also feel a special affinity for the fitness professionals, because myself as a weight loss coach, I'm sure you've had experiences in the gym where a client may be having a challenge and they're not reaching their goals, and you got this hint that it's not physical. There's something mental or emotional that's holding them back. And I'm so excited that we can prepare fitness professionals with some of those tools to deal with the kind of human behavior aspect and emotional and mental stuff that then helps the fitness part flow more easily.
And Lizzie, you've been through several different life coaching programs. What do you feel makes this one unique, different, special, or stand out?
I think what's unique about the Impact Coaching certification is the foundation. It's not just the mental, it's not just the physical, it's mind, body, spirit. And it's who you are, Todd. Like, you bring it all together. And so we bring all of those aspects into the curriculum. So like, you know, section 1 of the Impact Coaching curriculum is about human behavior and the kind of foundation of life coaching. Section 2 is unique to you, Todd. It is your impact specific material that is so special because it has that mind, body, spirit. And so somebody going through the Impact Coaching certification would literally have the templates of your coaching programs, kind of plug and play. So if they wanted to, they would have a ready-made coaching program ready to go. They would not need to reinvent the wheel. And then our third section, we help people with the kind of nuts and bolts of how to build a coaching business. I mean, you've been doing the mastermind for almost 20 years now. We got Kelly and Larry, and there's so much experience of helping professionals build a business that we help. We kind of focus on that in the third part. So
yeah,
it's unique in that way.
And Lizzie, I know we put a lot of time and energy into it. It's certainly not for everybody. Even people listening in, obviously probably interested to see what we're doing, but it's going to be for some people. What do you think when someone becomes one of our coaches, what does that enable them to do? Take me down a road almost. When someone becomes certified, what do you think their life looks like as a certified Todd Durkin Impact Life Coach?
I'm going to take that in 2 directions. So first, what does that enable them to do? And secondly, how could they actually use their Impact Coaching certification in, out in the wild? So obviously everyone's coaching practice is going to look a little different, but it enables you to have some freedom over your calendar. You get to decide which clients you want to work with. You get to decide when you want to work with them. And so it gives you that kind of freedom of time. But honestly, that's kind of surface level. A little deeper that the impact coaching certification enables you to do is just the incredible people that you get to meet through coaching. I cannot tell you how amazing my clients are. I love to get to work with my clients because it is such a privilege to almost be witness to their journey. And that feeling of when you get to help somebody see themselves in a new light and empower them to trust themselves. And that kind of flows into the deeper impact of being a life coach is what it does to you.
Yeah.
That you begin to see yourself differently. I mean, for myself, I had those fears of like, who would want to listen to me? Like, what have I got to say? Who am I to tell somebody what they should do with their life? Yep. Which, as an aside, which is the great thing about coaching, is you don't tell them what to do. But I didn't know that at the time. But coaching began to teach me that I do have something worthy to say. I do have something valuable to bring to the world. And it literally changed my identity of what I believe I'm capable of. It was my own personal reinvention. And I'm just getting started. And so that's what life coaching can enable you to do. Specifically with the certification, how you could use that into the world. Number one, you could use that to augment what you currently do. So like, for example, a fitness professional, you could help your clients to get through any of those mental or emotional blocks. Or let's say you're a manager at a financial institution or any kind of institution. You have a team and you're supporting your team. Humans are complicated people, and being a leader is not an easy job. Having the skills of a life coach will help you be a better leader to bring your team to higher performance. Another way you could use it is like as a side gig. So for example, our God-Sized Dreams client, Andrew Ruiz, he works in healthcare, but he has a passion to help young athletes to transform, as they transition through from high school to college. So his work life and his life coaching passion are a little bit different, but he could use that as a side gig. Or you could make it your profession, like I do. So I work privately with weight loss clients, but my full-time job is as a weight loss coach for a company. So there's all kinds of ways you can use your impact coaching certification.
That's great, Lizzie. Thank you. I want to expand on this, and I don't know if this is going to resonate with anyone or not, but the certification part, that's going to be a small number of people, but you may be someday looking for a life coach for yourself. I'm going to ask that you certainly look at someone who is TD Impact Life Coach certified, because you can bet your bottom dollar that it has my stamp of approval, because I can only coach so much. But part of my role now is to empower others to empower others. Part of my role is to impact coaches so they can go create more impact in their lives. In that, I just wrote down 5 things, the vision, because I've been doing more soul searching the last 3 years than I've ever done in my life. And I'm sure many of you can relate to the soul searching of how do I use my unique gifts and talents and skill sets to go beyond what I've already created or done, right? So how do I see this? Number one, I see gyms wanting to get a trainer or 2 certified so that they can now offer Todd Durkin Impact Life Coaching in their studio, in their gym, in their franchise, in their chain, to do that, so that now you can have an ancillary stream of service for your clients and members. I also see those trainers who get certified that now can work additional coaching without having to be on the floor. I don't know about you. If you've ever been a trainer or coach, there was a time when I did 40 to 50 clients a week. That's exhausting. That's tiring. And you can only do so much from 5 a.m. till 7 p.m. But what I love about life coaching is it uses a different energy, right, of how you pour into people that doesn't require you to, always be in the trenches, which I love. I still do it. But man, I love doing life coaching because it back and forth, it works together. So maybe it's that trainer who wants 5 or 10 sessions a week. and doesn't just want to do 20 to 30 or 40 sessions. Now they can add this to their repertoire to enhance their toolkit as well. 3, I've got 5. The other one I see is if you're in reinvention mode, which that whole reinvention series, I told you beforehand, the reason why I'm sharing this is because where I'm going is part of the soul searching that I've been doing is if you're in reinvention mode, and maybe you want to be a fellow life transformer and you want to be equipped on all levels, heck, I've spent 25 plus years as a coach, and now in putting this system together and now certifying coaches, there are going to be a handful of people who are searching for their next step in their own career, in their own walk and journey on that. And frankly, Lizzie, number 4 is I want to grow my team. I want to grow my team of coaches because guess what? I can't keep up personally with myself and you and Kelly with both the speaking and the coaching because they go hand in hand. When I speak, that typically leads to more coaching opportunities. So as I look to grow the impact, I need to grow the team of Todd Durkin Impact Life coaches who are out there in their respective communities around the world globally. And that's part of my life's mission moving forward here is how can I grow other coaches to go out there and deepen their impact in their communities using our system that's now available. And I guess the last one I would say in number 5 is, who might this be for? It's just anyone who wants to grow. Anyone who is a growth mindset person that loves to grow and add new tools and skill sets to their toolbox, because while the TD brand ramps up and coaching explodes on all levels, I love to combine body, mind, and soul. That's who I am. That's what I've been called to do. And I just believe in coaching. Ever since I've been 5 years old, I've always had a coach, and the last 25 plus years in being a coach, but I can't grow at the pace I want when I've got a smaller team of coaches and Kelly and you on the life coaching side. And of course, on the mastermind side, we have Frank and Larry and Jill on that side. But man, the stable's got to grow. The stable's got to grow. And that's why I'm excited is as I've been soul searching, saying, I'm putting my stamp of approval behind our team of coaches. This 6-month program, Lizzie, is certainly going to be one that we've already poured our heart and souls into in the development of it. And then the next 6 months, once it launches on September 10th, for those who decide that the Impact Life Coaching through our brand is going to be something that they're going to incorporate, these folks and I are going to be linked at the hip. And I'm going deeper with these people, and there's going to be live events and everything else as part of it, although the majority of it will be virtual. Again, you can get all the details on that. Let's go to the website and look at it, the landing page for it. But that's why I'm really excited about it, Lizzie, because I've been doing more soul searching for just how do you double down on what's already inside of you. It's what you talk about in your book with You Are a Miracle. That man or woman is already there, but sometimes it takes a coach like you, Lizzie, or Kelly, or Frank, or Larry, or Jill, to pull that out of you, to get that out of you. My hope is that we groom a great group of coaches, that the impact is going to be felt massively in 2024. And in this ramp up period for 6 months, starting in September, it's going to be a really deep, intensive coaching period on that. Maybe you want to receive some coaching in 2024. Fantastic. Well, then buckle up, because besides myself, in addition to me, you're going to have some folks who are going to be out there evangelizing on making sure that we operate as our highest and best self on all levels. So that's why I'm excited, Lizzie, if you can't tell.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's spread out those positive ripples and just let God take it to where he needs to go.
Hey, listen, I'd like to close with your book, because in the epilogue of your book, I think it's fitting when we talk about making sure that the world needs more of you. Fill in the blank. The world needs more of you. Can you just share a quick little synopsis or even read a little portion of that epilogue? Because when we talk about the depth of soul, I believe whether coaching is part of your life or not, perhaps you're a leader, you're a doctor, you're an attorney, and you either receive coaching now or you don't, or you want to become a life coach now, maybe not. But I believe this epilogue is going to speak to you as Lizzie has been doing in this entire episode. So Lizzie, can you just share some of that, please?
Oh, sure. Thank you. It really is an honor. So the conclusion of my book is called The Golden Buddha. And the summary is in 1957, workers at a monastery were moving a big statue of the Buddha, and the ropes broke and it fell, and a crack came into the outer surface of the Buddha. And as they were kind of inspecting it, one of the workers realized that this kind of gold light was coming out from the crack. And as they began to chip away, they realized it wasn't your average everyday statue. It was actually made of solid gold underneath. It just had been covered up with mud. And there's some historical, like, this is not a parable, this is real life, it happened, and there's historical information that I write about in my book. But what I go on to say is, just like the Golden Buddha, you already have that light within you. Many of my clients just want to feel confident and be able to love themselves for who they are. But the truth is that love and that worthiness is already inside of you, and it's closer than you think. You were born as a spiritual being into this human body. You came out of the womb fascinated by your fingers and toes and the amazing things that your body could do. You knew you were worthy simply by existing. However, as you grew and internalized messages from the environment and your society, you added layer upon layer of clay and mud over the Golden Buddha within yourself. But instead of mud, you used limiting stories and negative beliefs to cover up your light. And eventually you became so covered in clay that you forgot the true beauty and magnificence of who you are underneath. And the key to rediscovering your Golden Buddha and genuinely loving yourself is to first realize that what you seek is already within you. Your work is to gradually chip away at the clay and limiting stories and limiting beliefs from the outside world, so that little by little, as you let go of those heavy stories, you begin to let your inner light shine. You have a gift worth giving. Don't wait. Don't sleep on your dream. The world needs what only you can give us. Don't keep waiting to live your life until that moment when you finally lose the weight, or you finally get the job, or whatever it is, when you finally feel like you're enough. Do those things now. Live now. Be 100% fully, gorgeously you now. Remind yourself every day, I have a gift worth giving. My voice was meant to be heard. This life is a gift, and it's meant for living, not for waiting. Don't wait. We're counting on you. You are a miracle.
Wow, Todd, I'm fired up. Lizzie Merritt, thank you. Thank you for your heart and soul. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm so excited for the impact that we're about to create. I love your book. Pick up the book. Tell us more about how one can follow you, Lizzie, and where they can get the book.
Sure, thanks. So the book is titled You Are a Miracle, How to Lose Weight and Love Your Body Too. It's on Amazon. I have a podcast called the Confident Body Podcast, and you can learn more about me at my website, confidentbody.coach.
Nice. I'll put all that in the show notes if you missed it, but definitely read her book. It's awesome. You Are a Miracle. And go to her website, follow her. When we talk about putting light into the universe, Lizzie Merritt is doing that. And you're going to feel it in the impact coaching that we're doing. It's an honor to work with her on so many levels. And, when we talk about the bigger the dream, the more important the team. Lizzie, you are such an important part of our team. And I I so appreciate you. And I can't wait for the world to get even more of Lizzie Merritt.
Thank you, Todd. It's just such a gift to get to be a part of this team and to get to use our gifts in service of others. And like, I cannot wait to see what God has in store for all of us.
Lizzie, thank you. We'll see you real soon. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the show. Have a great day. Until next time, remember, train hard, eat right, live inspired, and go create impact. My friends, thank you. Thank you for listening into today's episode with Lizzie Merritt. The world needs more of you. Can I get an amen? Anyone? The world needs more of you at your best, So I want you to think about here as the summer rounds out in the next few weeks of what is it going to take for you to be at your best, whatever that is, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Commit to it. Commit to those habits of what it's going to take for you to be living at your best. And I know I shared with a lot of energy today of why I'm excited with some of our new initiatives and how the team is growing and why I'm excited for that. But I truly believe is that sometimes you got to go through some rough storms and tough times. And in the reinvention series, when talking about that and sharing it, I just want you to remember that if I didn't share that, and all of a sudden I was sharing about how excited I am for this newest program that I have, is it wouldn't have the same context, because all of that was part of my own soul searching to come up with, I am going to empower more people than ever before, to go out and empower more people than ever before. So if you're going through a storm today, make sure you're surrounding yourself with the right people, and whether you have a coach or not, make sure that you really guard your mindset and your heart set and your soul set, so that you can get through that storm. And ultimately that storm is going to teach you the lessons that are going to be very important for you as a man or a woman. So thank you for listening in today. And I want to say thank you to Lizzie Merritt. When you look around Fitness Quest 10 and you see over a dozen people here at my gym in San Diego that have been with our business for over 10 years, and then we have more than 7 people who've been here more than 15 years. I love to grow people from within. And on the TDE side of things, both in the mastermind and in our Impact X and God-Sized Dreams, and now with our CERT, I love to grow people from within, people whom I've actually coached with. And I'm excited to really get to work deeper with our new Impact coaches that'll be launching next month here in September 10th. I just believe when it comes to leadership, if you have the opportunity to mentor people and coach people, and then to really help them grow and for them to become successful in their walk, whatever their purpose is, that's all part of Impact. So if you're interested in being a coach, you know where to go. If you want to be coached by Lizzie or by Kelly, by myself, or by one of our Impact coaches that'll be long, you'll have the opportunity in about 6 months when they're all certified, and I get my paws on them all. You'll have that opportunity as well if you would just like to receive some of that coaching as well. It's coming up here real soon. So with that being said, go out there, let's create a great day and a great week, and let's finish this summer strong. And if you need me for any reason, you reach out to me. But until then, as I just said, you remember, you continue to train your tail off, you keep eating right and eating clean, living inspired, and let's creating that impact, baby. God bless you. Go out there and crush the day. Peace. We out.